Most self-help teaches positive thinking, but the Stoics did the opposite. They practiced imagining loss. Why? To become emotionally bulletproof. In today's video, we're going to talk about negative visualization, or what the Stoics called premeditatio. This is one of the most powerful and counterintuitive practices that I have ever found, and it has made me stronger, braver, and more at peace with whatever life throws my way. I hope it will do the same for you. Let's get into it. Part 1. What is negative visualization? Meditations malorum simply means the act of reflecting upon potential losses. In the context of Stoic philosophy, negative visualization was not a morbid preoccupation with death and destruction. It was a practical tool for preparing oneself for the inevitable difficulties of life and strengthening one's resilience in the face of adversity. It was about acknowledging that life is uncertain and unpredictable, and that setbacks and tragedies are an unavoidable part of the human experience. By confronting these realities head-on and mentally rehearsing how to deal with them, the Stoics believed that one could cultivate a sense of calm and equanimity in the face of whatever fate might throw their way. Now, as with any good Stoic practice, negative visualization wasn't about dwelling on the negative, but rather about using it to one's advantage. It wasn't about wallowing in fear and anxiety, but about confronting those emotions directly and transforming them into something constructive. The goal of negative visualization was not to make one pessimistic or fatalistic, but rather to make one more resilient, adaptable, and at peace with whatever life might bring. Part 2. Why does this work? So why should you spend time thinking about things going wrong? Well, first off, by meditating on potential losses, we reduce our fear of them. We've all heard the saying, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Well, the same is true here. When we confront our fear directly and visualize ourselves successfully navigating difficult situations, we diminish the power that fear has over us. Seneca said, "What frightens you? What do you expect? Nothing but what has happened before. Nothing can enter life but what has been. What has been will be again." He's basically saying that worrying about something happening is foolish, because it has probably happened before in the past and life is cyclical. Instead of dreading it, we should mentally prepare for it by visualizing ourselves overcoming similar challenges in the past. Second, negative visualization helps us appreciate what we have. When we think about losing something or someone, we realize how precious it is and how easily it could be taken away from us. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal, "When you rise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Negative visualization allows us to start each day with a renewed sense of gratitude for the gift of life and all the blessings that come with it. Third, negative visualization allows you to prepare yourself mentally. By thinking about potential problems ahead of time, you give yourself the opportunity to come up with solutions and strategies for dealing with them when they inevitably arise. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Essentially, he's saying that obstacles and challenges actually help us grow and become stronger. The Stoics believed that we should embrace challenges and obstacles as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. And negative visualization is a key part of this mindset. By preparing ourselves mentally for potential setbacks, we can approach them with a sense of confidence and resolve. And fourth, this practice makes you more objective. When we're in the middle of a challenging situation, it can be easy to get caught up in our emotions and make decisions based on fear or anger or sadness. But when we've taken the time to visualize negative outcomes, we're better able to step back and assess the situation objectively. We're able to think more clearly and make better decisions. And finally, it helps you focus on what's in your control. Epictetus said, "You don't control events, only your response to events. And within your control is the power to have no opinion about things, and thus to be free from disturbance." Negative visualization is a helpful tool in putting things into perspective. It allows us to focus on the things we can control and let go of the things we can't. So now that we understand what negative visualization is and why it works, let me share with you a simple way to put it into practice. Take 5 minutes every day to visualize worst-case scenarios. For instance, imagine losing your job, getting sick, or a relationship falling apart. It may sound depressing, but you'll be surprised at how liberating it can be. By imagining these scenarios, you'll gradually reduce their power over you and you'll be better equipped to handle them if they actually occur. To do this effectively, set aside a specific time and place each day where you won't be interrupted. It could be in the morning before the day's demands grab your attention, or in the evening after the day's done. Find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths to center yourself and focus your thoughts. Mentally revisit a difficult situation you've experienced in the past. Recall the details vividly, allowing yourself to fully immerse in the experience. Then expand your perspective. Imagine how you would respond to similar situations in the future. Visualize yourself navigating through the challenges with resilience and composure. Picture the steps you would take to overcome the obstacles and emerge stronger on the other side. Finally, reflect on the lessons you've learned from the experience. Consider how the challenges have shaped you and the valuable insights you've gained. Acknowledge the personal growth and wisdom that have come as a result of facing and overcoming adversity. By reliving these experiences mentally, you're essentially creating a mental library of resilience. You're training your mind to approach future challenges with a sense of familiarity and confidence. As the Stoics believed, life is full of ups and downs, and we cannot avoid the inevitable. But by embracing negative visualization, we can learn to navigate through life's challenges more gracefully. Here's an example of how this might look in practice. Drawing from the lesson of Epictetus, who was a former slave and the most prominent Stoic philosopher after Seneca, he said, "You don't control events, only your response to events." Imagine you're a waiter in a busy restaurant. A customer approaches your table and aggressively demands a refill of his drink. Now, in this situation, you don't control the customer's behavior. That's the event that's happening outside of your control. However, you do have control over your response to the customer's actions. You could choose to respond with patience and understanding, or you could choose to react with anger and frustration. Your response is entirely up to you. If you choose to respond with patience and understanding, you'll likely diffuse the situation and maintain a positive interaction with the customer. On the other hand, if you choose to respond with anger and frustration, you could escalate the situation and make it worse. In this scenario, you didn't control the customer's behavior, but you did control your response. By practicing negative visualization, you can train yourself to respond to challenging situations in a more productive and positive way. For instance, you might visualize yourself handling a situation like the one with a rude customer calmly and effectively. You might imagine yourself taking a deep breath, maintaining a polite demeanor, and finding a solution to the customer's problem. Through this mental rehearsal, you're preparing yourself to respond to similar situations in a more positive and constructive manner. Give this a try for 7 days, and then tell me in the comments if you feel stronger or more peaceful. Finally, I want to leave you with a quote from Seneca, which I think sums up negative visualization perfectly. All my life I have told myself the following: it is not that life is short, but that we waste a lot of it. It is not that death is approaching, but that we are fleeing from it. It is not that we are without hope, but that we have lost hope. Seneca is reminding us that we have a choice in how we perceive our lives and our circumstances. Even in the face of death and loss, we can choose to find hope and meaning. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join our community. It's free. I'll see you next time.